Hello and welcome into the form off the back of a massive Cup week, an interesting Cup week. We turn our attention to counties, of course, Pukekohe with the Counties Cup Day, and we've just got the two gentlemen trying to find you the winners today, Aidan Rodley and Bevan Sweeney. Firstly, Aidan, hello to you. Nice to have you back from Cup week, and Saturday, very interesting.
Yeah, just crazy. I've never seen any weather like that, but the racing was great, and they were going to put on a great show too. That the crowd was building. Unfortunately, the weather just really didn't play ball. But when do you see snowmen being built on a racecourse nearing summer? Anyhow, this week we turn our attention to Counties Cup Day. It's one of the good days, and it just signals that summer is just around the corner. Some really good racing on that program, which we'll look into shortly.
Absolutely. As I say, hello to you, Bevan Sweeney. Of course, we look forward to action out of the River City as well this weekend.
Yeah, morning Pip, morning A-Rod, missing our little mate here on the form, but yeah, looking forward to this weekend's racing. I haven't found it overly easy, I would be very honest and upfront with you around both counties with the track conditions and the very even nature of their fields. In Wanganui should be on a decent sort of surface, but I still think there wasn't too many that really stood out with the flashing red beacon. So we'll see if we can find you a couple, but I'm very good at running second at the present moment, Pip.
Yeah, let's hope that does change today, Bevan, as we have a look what is coming up on the show. And we'll be starting with that feature, the Group 2 Auckland Thoroughbred breeders out of Pukekohe. And then, of course, on the undercard, we've got a super program to look forward to, including the Counties Cup. We're heading to the River City, taking a look at the features out of Wanganui and our usual segments. So let's crack into it and see if we can find you the winners. It is, of course, a meeting to Aidan as we take a look at the weather and track, where the locals will be out in force. They'll be hoping there's a bit of sunshine. What can you tell us? Yeah,
exactly. Pukekohe Park will bring the crowds in for sure. This is a day when the counties, Manukau, Franklin faithful will really get along to this meeting. Unfortunately, we've had a fair bit of rain this week, especially Wednesday. Boy, the rain tumbled down. So we are down to a heavy 8, but the outlook for the next few days actually looks pretty good. So it will come back into the soft range. Just how close we get to a good track will be interesting.
Yeah, someone who lives in the region, I can say it's still been warm, even though we've had that rain around. As we take a look at the feature, race number 8 on the program, it is our Group 2 here, the Dunstan Feeds Auckland Thoroughbred Breeders Stakes, where Jaffe is your very open favourite at $4.80, Kaliar Farasha at $5, Provence at $6, Maratelli Molly. So you're right, Sweens, I think the track makes it interesting, but boy, we've got some even fields and our feature is no different.
Yeah, absolutely. This is an interesting race. Maratelli Molly was great last time, and I think there's some value in her price because she's capable of handling any sort of track outside of maybe a heavy 10. Well, we won't be getting there. Good effort, a couple of starts going a heavy 8. Jaffe has improved into that second up run, third up, sense of timing there. Provence, almost went to Provence on top off that fresh up run. I think it's coming up really nicely, and maybe the shaker and mover is Arabian Songbird in recent times, in Kestrel, well, we know her class. So, I don't know, it was a head scratcher, A-Rod from start to finish, really.
Yeah, one thing about the map, though, it seems to map okay. We'll have a look through them here, and you'll see there that the likelihood is Jaffe's got to go back, Mazzella goes back, Kaliar Farasha goes forward. I thought Maratelli Molly was potentially the leader here, with Back the Angel, Kaliar Farasha, Melody, moving Melody, taking positions. And then you'd expect them to take advantage of an inside barrier draw with Bourbon Empress and Chateau Valley into that first 6 as well. But yeah, I don't think there's any sort of real tricks around the speed bet, Pip.
Okay, well, let's take a look at Jaffe because did actually get stuck out on a limb last time here, 3 wide on the speed. And to say how he stuck on here, Sweens, is really game with the winner coming up underneath, who we know is a nice type from Forsman's stable.
Yeah, hang out on a limb's probably right there, Pip, and so you ignore the form comment in your race book. I thought this is a really, really brave effort to run second to Force of Nature, who's going to get that split run up the inside. Horse is going well. We know the past record through previous seasons suggests that the horse will go very, very close today. The course record's not quite there, but a horse that's going very, very well, moving Melody and Provence. Just behind them, A-Rod, I was interested that, so you did run a really good sectional on a race which wasn't suited to be back in it, but probably the biggest issue for Jaffe is that gate and where it's going to get to in the run. It might have to make another long sweeping run, Aidan. If it does that, I think there's just a couple that can upset.
Yeah, that is definitely the concern, because what we'll see here is probably that Jaffe settles behind Provence, and so that means you've got to be able to run faster than Provence home. On what we've seen from her in the past, she's definitely capable. She's run the second quickest last 200 in that race, and I thought he comfortably had Provence held. Both of them get deeper into their preparations. Provence second up, Jaffe third up. They did clash in the Group 1 New Zealand Thoroughbred Breeder Stakes last year when there was only a nose separating them, and boy, Jaffe was desperately unlucky. I think as a Group 1 winner and waiting this season.
Okay, I like that. And of course, there was a few question marks around Provence in that run. So let's hear from Dylan Johnson from the Marsh stable.
Yeah, really well. Provence, good last start, carried big weight for age, conditions suit her perfectly, and look, she's a dual Group 1 winner, she's coming up really well, and yeah, this looks like an ideal target 2 weeks after a fresh up run.
Can you compare her to last year?
Yeah, I think she's going just as well. I know Steve's been really happy, and look, the mile's going to be where she's at her best, and she's always been that mare that gets better as she gets through the prep and into the summer and the autumn. But no, we think she's going equally as well as she was last year.
Yeah, Bourbon Empress raced really well through this period last year as well, has she?
Yeah, fantastic. She was really good first up, just sort of got back and finished off second, yeah, in what was a pretty good form race. But we think she's going really well. She's a group winner from last year, and she's another one that once she gets to a mile, potentially even 2,000 metres, she'll be at her best. But yeah, we expect her to run well. She's won at the track, and yeah, she's a class mare.
And you can pretty much see that too with Bourbon Empress, because Arabian Songbird very good here, Aidan, making it 2 from 2 this prep, but Bourbon Empress was doing her best work late.
All three of the runs that we're highlighting here were good. Moving Melody has obviously got a little bit more tactical speed and kicks on fairly well, but yeah, the run of Arabian Songbird just really impressive. The quicker closing sectionals actually were with Bourbon Empress, who now draws barrier 1. Again, these horses are quite early in their preparation, so they should be sharper for this. I think they're both contenders here, Bevan. I think it's a pretty important video to show too.
Yeah, massive contenders. There's no doubt about that. I think the draw might turn that result around. Possibly that's the thing you need to weigh up. Arabian Songbird put those two together and is showing sparkling turns of foot in both of those. Maybe just needs that suck run, comes off the back, hits a bit of clear and then really does let go. I think Bourbon Empress can keep up maybe a more sustained run. I think it'll get a good draw. I think they'll kick up and maybe sit on the back of Meritary Molly if she does go across and lead up from there. Counties can be slightly on speed. You'd think Bourbon Empress is going to have a little bit of an advantage coming into the home straight on Arabian Songbird. But as you mentioned, they are both massive chances. They're both going great in what is a very even Thoroughbred Breeders' Stakes.
Oh, it really is, because we haven't mentioned Orchestral yet either. So let's get to Rob Wellwood. Aidan caught up with him around Arabian Songbird and Orchestral.
Orchestral is in lovely order. The rain doesn't suit her. She only operates on a firm surface, and 1400 is well short of her best, but we've got to start her somewhere, so she'll go around, but expect improvement on 1, a better track, and 2, over further. Arabian Songbird is flying. She's putting together a pretty smart record. Really excited to see her get a chance at black type, and yeah, it'd be pretty exciting if we could get a black type win the Barneswood colours.
If we can just go back to Orchestral, how's your work been leading into this?
Work's been super. She had a gallop the other day and it was really nice. George's been really happy with her. She looks great. She's a more mature mare now, but the key with her is probably getting her to 2000 on a firm surface.
Yeah, I wonder whether she might be getting a little bit down. What about Arabian Songbird? What have you done with her training wise this week?
Look, she keeps herself pretty fit. She's a big mare, but you know, she's sort of pretty clean-winded mare, so we haven't had to do a lot. Yeah, her work's been very good. She's a good track worker, and yeah, we're going to really happy with her.
Sounds like the steer might be towards her in this one.
I think for sure.
And be really interesting too with Orchestral coming back. Probably won't get that firm track, but great to see a quality mare getting back into her preparation.
Yeah, absolutely. She took a bit of a while to come up to it last year, and I think the spring really didn't work for her. So, but Samo, like, she placed in I think it was a New Zealand Stakes, won the Aotearoa Classic, $1 million race. She's undoubtedly the class act, but you tread warily in this race, and you get that information from Robert too, that Arabian Songbird is the better of their 2 chances. But as Bevan said, you know, there's some really good topping quality to this race.
Oh, I agree. I think you just watch Orchestral go around. I think there'll be a real testing period for the mare early on this preparation to see where she's going and where they continue on to. So just watch and see around Orchestral, but you know the class is there.
Okay, now let's have a look at Maraturi Molly, and she didn't get all favours this day at Waited Upper, but managed to pick up the win, Sweens. Great to see her back in winning form.
Yeah, look, this is an awesome effort. Make no mistake, she carried the 60 against horses that had a lot of weight relief, and I'm talking about Bedtime Stories, Pretty Slick and Blissful Bell and a few others, and they got held up on a couple of occasions and just had to show that real grit. You can just see no real clear air for Maraturi Molly for the majority, and when she gets clear, she bursts through. Look, she bursts through, she wins nicely with a big weight, she gets into weight for age. She's been a Group 1 placed mare. I think she's got a sense of timing about her, and I think she's in the right spot in the race to be very, very difficult to beat.
Geez, some ride from Tony Davies that day, though, wasn't it? A really good ride, and obviously she brought the weight down from 62 to 60. And Maraturi Molly's won 7 of 18, drops 3 kilograms into the weight for age, and is a big contender. However, on top for me, I've gone with Jaffe. I'm a really big fan of this mare, and I just think she's on the cusp of something pretty specialist preparation, and I think that starts on Saturday with the Auckland Thoroughbred breeders. Sweens, who did you land with?
I think Matt's trained Maraturi Molly to the minute. That was shown at Tauhiraneko. She had a couple of runs at Trenton where she wasn't too far off them at 12. She stepped up to 14-1 with a fair bit of ease with a big weight. She gets in at weight for age, decent draw, good gate speed, 1,400 metres, record outstanding. She'll be very tough to beat in a very tough race, but I'll go with Maraturi Molly.
Okay, I like it. And if you are playing at Pukekohe as well, there are plenty of reasons to get involved. There's the odd surge available as well on each and every race. $20,000 guaranteed first fours, as well as a guaranteed late quaddie of $75,000. So plenty of reasons to sink your teeth into the counties meeting. As we take you to a break, off the other side, we'll be having a look at the undercards.
I lose my mind and it's like ecstasy. Oh baby, baby, I want you to tell me how could it be? I think about it.
You're watching The Form, and it's time for our Black Bookers. No Leith this week, so Aidan, we start with you. Who have you found for us?
I'm going to take you back to the Group 1, 2,000 guineas, and one who I think can be really competitive, especially in those Southern Guineas races. You know, the Gore Guineas, Southland Guineas, Dunedin Guineas, wherever they go. The good thing for Terry Ray is that he's still a maiden professional lad. You can see him making very good ground on conditions that she had no confidence he'd handle. I thought he was just terrific against some really good horses. So, professional lad, I just want to be with him right through the summer, and I think he will be picking off some good races.
I'm going to take you to Waipukurau on Sunday. What a day it was, to a horse called Unusual Invader. You had to be somewhere there across the entire program. This horse was caught back, got a split to the centre of the course and sprinted quite quickly. I think he just found it tough the last 100 metres as it hit that uphill. But it'll make it pretty quickly, this horse, Unusual Invader, and will be very short a maiden and into good rating company quickly.
Great to see those crowds. As we take you to mine, I went to Rotorua on the same day. Too darn sweet. She got taken on the whole time on the speed, and I just thought she was so brave here to stick on for second and behind actually a nice type from Andrew Forsman's stable who gets up to take out the race. So I think she's due a win when she gets a nice draw. All reports is she'll be heading to Otaki on the 30th, so watch out for her for Sam Minot. That's our Black Bookers for the week. Make sure you note them down and follow them. Professional lad for Aidan. I'm with Too Darn Sweet, and of course Sweens is with Unusual Invader. From there, we're going to now concentrate in on our counties meeting, have a look at the undercard, and the race will be starting with here, of course, is the Counties Cup, a Group 3 level here. My racehorse doing the sponsoring is too, so it's a showtime as we take you through the market. Sharp and Smart, $6 favourite. Aftermath at 7s. Diamond Jack at $8.50. Boy, Sweens, I think there's some value in this race.
I think there's value all over the place, in all honesty, here. Pip, Sharp and Smart, your favourite. I think you could make a couple of cases that maybe some others in this race should be, but he's certainly going as good as we've seen him in recent times. Look, I think there's a few prices for mine. Sassy Lass is one. Blue Sky at Night, another. The Odyssey even, just coming off one disappointment, but I don't think it backed up that day. And I do think Livid Sky is offering you some really good value.
Interesting map here. There's a decent amount of speed. So, you know, it's a potentially capacity field as well. From track work on Wednesday, there were suggestions that the Odyssey and Moonlight Magic, neither of those would start. And they've both drawn wide, so whether they push ahead or not, I'm not too sure. Electric Time goes forward, Khan Hunter goes forward, Prometheus goes forward, and then you've got the horses like Quickfire, Final Return, GG Solidify, who are around them, plus a decent middle brigade. Sharp and Smart was able to get a little bit handier last time. I think he's midfield or worse. Midnight Blue with a really cosy run from that draw. Just a tricky gate here for Blue Sky at Night, and the same for Diamond Jack.
It's going to be very interesting where some horses get to as we take a look at the first form reference, the Balmerino Stakes, and behind El Vencedor here, Sween, 7 of them coming out of this race. Who impressed you the most?
Well, I made the comment about Sharp Smart being the favourite. I actually think with Diamond Jet getting a little bit of weight relief on Saturday, that you could make a case that that horse should have been made favourite. But look, it's really which ones you look at. Aftermath I thought was very good. Blue Sky at Night, very good. The Odyssey on the quick backup, I don't think it handled it at all. So, look, I'm sort of getting sick of underrating Diamond Jack on occasions. And look, he's got an awkward gate to overcome, but he will just go back naturally. Probably will enjoy the cut out of the track. I expect a much better performance from the Odyssey as well. I think that horse just didn't back up overly quickly and was flying into its last start, where it was a very, very dominant winner at the mile and does stay very, very well. So probably those two, A-Rod, Diamond Jack, the Odyssey are the two horses I expect to really show up on Saturday out of that race.
You make interesting points, especially around the weight. So Sharp and Smart stays on the same 59, whereas Diamond Jack drops 1.5 kilograms. However, then you look to horses like Aftermath, who drops 6 kilograms. You look to a horse, there's a heap of them like that. Blue Sky at Night drops 4 kilograms. So, they were really nice runs in behind for mine as well. It is an interesting race. Sharp and Smart, second quickest last 200 of that race, and Diamond Jack, second quickest last 6 and 4. Blue Sky at Night, the second quickest last 800. The quickest sectionally was Kenny Rock, who's come on and run third in the New Zealand Cup. So the form looks as though it's stacked up okay. And obviously El Vencedor or anything behind him's pretty good form.
It certainly is. And yes, you mentioned Blue Sky at Night. Of course, she won at this meeting last year. Let's hear from her trainer, Shelley Hale. Aidan just asked her how she's going.
Good, yeah, really good. She did a serious piece of work yesterday, worked really nicely. Yeah, quite looking forward to it. She had a tough run last start, took a little bit out of her, but she's 2.5 weeks. She's bounced back the last 10 days. So, yeah.
On the clock, really good at Ellerslie. What did you do when you reflect back on the performance? Good enough as a trial?
Yeah, it unfortunately, with the Matamata Cup being put off that couple of weeks, and so we missed a run. But I thought the mare performed really, really well. Just weight for age, probably just working a bit hard around the bend maybe. But yeah, she was a good performance.
You won this day with her last year. This day you're going to the Cup, and of course you've won a couple of Cups. What can you expect of her this weekend?
Look, she's training every bit as well as she was last season, so that's a real positive. We're still nicely weighted. We've lost our jockey through suspension, so very early I booked Kelly Myers, so I think that's more than able replacement. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Some really good comments there from Shelley Hale if you are in the Blue Sky at Night camp. From there, though, we're going to take you to the Jim Pender runner and GG at Tauranga, and this was some effort from him too. Yes, on this home track, but he had to really work hard here, Aidan, and he drops nicely in weight.
That is the factor that he's such a Tauranga horse. I think that was his 4th win in 8 starts to go 3 minors. So that's the difficulty going away from the track. There were some nice runs. Bevan talked about Sassy Lass. That was one of the runs of the race. All the quickest closing sectionals, and I thought from this performance of Sassy Lass, she's got to be in contention in this Counties Cup.
100% agree. I agree. Look, I don't know what to make of that particular meeting at Tauranga. G was enormous. It's at 3 wide the trip and still managed to win, and we saw throughout the day that you had to be right there. And there was some performances on speed that you just were scratching your head about. Sassy Lass was one that did make up some ground. I think there was only 2 other horses that came from well back on the entire program to be anywhere near it. I think Peter Didham's horse did win. from last. But we didn't see much. There was another Sullivan Scott runner, was it Moss Invader, that ran on from a long way back. So Sassy's Lass's run is very, very good. And I expect it to be pretty competitive on Saturday.
And she's got the honours as well of being on the race form cover, and the form is starting to come back for the race form. Of course, I think we had well written on there, so look, she's got to be a chance for Wexford.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And she's just coming into this nicely. She does meet Gigi 2 kilograms worse from that last time out, but just the way like that she closed it off, I think she's a bona fide contender. It's
a great race. You're going to get a good price no matter what you want, Aidan. So who's the one for you?
Yeah, it is my old favourite, Sharp and Smart. I thought he was probably just a touch of a false favourite, but he was in my top 3. In the end, I have landed on Blue Sky at Night. Just everything seems to be building, and she's a proven Cups horse. I know she's 8 now. The 2 I thought were the biggest dangers were Aftermath, Sharp and Smart, but I wouldn't be ruling out Midnight Blue. Big horse, drops beautifully in weights, and I didn't think it was the worst chance. So I've gone with Blue Sky at Night. Bevan, how about you? Who you've got?
Look, I'm going to go for some value in the race. I think Livid Sky gets a perfect trip in this. I love the fresh up run at Ellerslie behind Tardelli. No better form than there. He's really hitting the line nicely. Went to Ellerslie last time behind the Odyssey and ran on nicely. I think there's a sense of timing at 2100 metres. So Livid Sky for me, for Stephen Orchardge. Look, doesn't win often and out of tune, but I think there's a sense of timing coming into Saturday. So I'll give you a little bit of value. I think Livid Sky at $11 is good money.
Yeah, value from the boys with the Counties Cup. As we move on now to the Counties Bowl, where we have the sprinters trying to get the win here for the Wanganui Farm Counties Bowl at Group 3 level. Midnight Edition, favourite $3.90, Twain at $4.80, Glamour Tycoon at $6.50. And you can see, obviously, a horse that's come out of this market too in Master Facewings.
Yeah, he is a horse I was interested in second up because he has such a good record fresh up. Look, a Midnight Edition has the speed early. Twain's been going great all season. Glamour Tycoon got the perfect run last time to get up and win, but a very good horse. Look, I was really interested in Ardalio at that sort of price. I think Ardalio at $9.50 is a really talented horse going forward. Sacred Satana's been in the best of our sprints. Whiskey and Roses can blow them off the racetrack when she gets it right. So, again, not overly easy there at Counties, Rod?
Yeah, and so much speed in this race as well. Our thanks to Chad Ormsby, who did let us know that he was scratching just prior to the show. But Johnny goes forward, Shoes goes forward, Midnight Edition goes forward. I think they'll be really positive with Twain, and then you've got Sacred Satono Lassa, who can probably get forward, and Glamour Tycoon there as well. So there's a lot of speed. Any one of those horses could potentially lead. I thought Glamour Tycoon was the least likely. And then you've got the horses going back, such as Whiskey and Roses Mercurial.
Okay, so could set up for back markers as we take you first to Dylan Johnson. Stephen Marsh has 4 in the race, and Aidan asked him about all of them.
Yeah, they're well. Yeah, really happy with all of them, and it looks like they'll get nice weights, and yeah, happy with them all heading into it.
One who's got racing under the belt, Glamour Tycoon. How's she going?
Yeah, very well. Her last start victory was good at Tauranga. She was good fresh up. She's a horse that once we get to weight for age now with her rating, she's struggling to get down to those. So the conditions don't suit her as well as the others, but she's going well, and Wormy Pin sticks with her, and yeah, she looks like a really nice chance in an even field.
Yep. Ardalia is obviously another one who's got the runs on the board and going really nicely too. How's she prepared?
Yeah, big gap between runs, so the 1100's going to suit. I think again as she sort of starts to step up 12, potentially even 14, you're going to see her at her best, but she'll be right down in the weights, and yeah, she's going well.
Great to see Mercurial back for another prep. How's he going?
Yeah, he's going good. He's at the tail end of his career now. He's a long time between drinks, but look, he's happy. He still loves it, and yeah, he'll run well. He's getting to the stage where in these handicaps he's getting down in the weights and doesn't need those weight for age conditions. So yeah, I expect him to go pretty well fresh.
Had a barrel race really well last summer. How's she building up this time in?
Yeah, fantastic. Thought her fresh up run at Ellerslie was outstanding. Just sort of dropped her back to the 1100. She's got some nice assignments coming up through the summer months. Once she gets to a mile is probably going to be when you're going to see her at her best. But yeah, back to sort of a fresh state, down in the weights. She's going really well. Expect her to run pretty big.
Of the 4, who's the one who's pleased you most on the training track leading in?
I think Glamour Tycoon's probably the horse with the class edge at the moment and the runs on the board, but just with the way that weight scale is going to be, she's so much better suited now to weight for age. She's going to have to carry the weight. So I think she looks the obvious one on form, but yeah, the others down in the weights certainly all chances.
Well, let's take you to her win at Tauranga. She got a lovely sit in the race, 3 back on the fence and presented here to keep on kicking, as Sween said. Probably helped her. It was an on-speed track this day, but a very good victory. I know I was happy.
Yeah, I think you were on that day too, weren't you? It gave everyone a good steer too. Pour the wine also in this race, but we know she's fast. She's got any amount of speed, but she's in a really strong early part of this race, which just might be the undoing of a few. Just how this does actually pan out here, Bevan.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought she was good this day, but she did have that advantage of on speed, and it was given a sweet, sweet trip by Barumu. His backboard draw becomes a little bit more awkward on Saturday, doesn't it? I think there's a few down in the weights that are going to really push Yuli to hold a position with their weights, and maybe sort of force those with the higher weights out wide to actually make a bit of ground up or early. Twain is a horse who has often missed a little bit. It was a very good win last time at Rotorua. Now, that was on a soft 7. We would expect that it might be soft 6, soft 7 on Saturday. And look, he's such a tough horse. He's cool, isn't he? He's now won 7 of 13. He never goes a poor race. He actually drops down to 57 on Saturday, so that's a big advantage for him. Where he gets there from the draw might be a little bit awkward, but I don't think it matters with him. He's a big, strong horse. He'll work his way into the race. And I think he'll look the winner at some point here, Aidan.
Yep, absolutely. And the rain that we've had obviously really helps him too. He's won 7 of 13. He just keeps on winning. It just comes up a little bit worse against Midnight Edition at the weights after narrowly beating him home. And obviously Glamour Tycoon was pretty good in that same race too.
Yeah, and with the speed in the race too, that was a day that he actually wasn't ridden on pace for a change, and it seemed to work too, so it'll be interesting what they do with him.
Exactly, and there's maybe an opportunity here, especially with so much speed, that they can, try and sort of get one off, 3 back potentially. But I think they'll still want to be as positive as possible. That's a way he plays.
Okay, well, let's hear from his trainer, John Bell, and Aidan just asked him how he's come through that race.
Very well. He pulled up quite nicely after his gallop at Tauranga. You wouldn't have seen that. You were in Australia having a good time, mate. But he did very, very well. He ran a nice time. He was pricked. Vinny very, very happy with him. So, we couldn't be more happy with him. Just fresh up again. Our main plan is the railway, so this is a stepping stone. But, he as he does, he's a professional.
We know he operates on all ground, but this rain this week, that doesn't harm him at all, does it? Well,
no, we wouldn't run him if it would, but we're using this race to get him ready, and our target is January.
Yeah. How competitive can he be this weekend, John?
Yeah, no, he's always competitive, and we were not going for for cupcakes. We're going to, we'll have a go.
He certainly will have a go, that's for sure. John Bell, was he the one that you're with here, Aidan?
It's not, because Midnight Edition comes in 3 kilograms better, and Midnight Edition has just been so good. We remember this horse dead heating with Yildian and Auckland Guineas before losing that race in the inquiry room, but every run this preparation, he's been so good. A tricky barrier draw for a go-forward horse, but I just love what he's doing. I thought he was probably the horse to beat. I'm interested to know where you landed, Bevan.
I've landed. I wish I'd listened to Dylan before we put my selections in. Look, I'm going to go with Ardalio. I think the gate is the key for her. I think she can actually jump and put herself somewhere close to speed. Yes, I know that as we get further up in trip, will be better for her. But with the speed, if she gets a nice little suck in behind them, I think she's got a fair few wheels. And I think she's very well capable of winning this race. So I go with Ardalio. But again, we haven't spoken about horses like Whiskey and Roses who could. The Haas is dangerous. Sacred's Tono at its very best would be pretty competitive. So I'll go at Ardalio with not a lot of confidence.
It's a great field, that's for sure. As we now take you to the babies, the 2-year-olds here, our Counties Challenge Stakes, where Harvey Wallbanger is the favourite on the slight drift, $2.60 out to $2.70. You can see Diarmas, the mover, $4 into $3.50. And I think they've probably got it right. No surprise to see a bit of money, though, for Diarmas here, Aidan.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some really nice horses here, like horses who, the top 4 in betting are all race winners, and then we've seen some terrific trialists as well. A few unlucky. Parfait de Manche was an eye-catcher after getting into a tricky position last time out as well. But yeah, it's a really interesting race. I think probably one of the strongest of these we've seen for a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. As we take you to Harvey Wallbanger, and this was out of Alice. He just looked really professional this day, and he's really extended up the home straight.
It really was. We see, you know, the fourth horse who's back on the inside has come out and won again, as we spoke about. The horse who runs third in the Milan Park colours was just got a few things wrong in the early part. Was really over racing, but pretty clinical in the end from a horse who I know they've got a lot of confidence in. Look at Speed Demon. That's the horse in the yellow, just hitting the line now, just to be in that photo for third, and that horse has since come out and won as well. So the field's got a bit of depth.
I think this will be a two-horse war, not just with the bookmakers. Between the two stables, they're clearly both very, very confident. And I don't think come race day on Saturday that the market will touch any other runner. I think there'll just be pressure on these two. Look, Harvey Wallbanger was great. He did that with a fair bit of ease. Look, he's gone that way of going. Clearly, it is a debut, so I think that's a big key to Harvey Wallbanger. And as you mentioned, I know there's a lot of confidence in the camp, so not able to count this horse out in any way, shape or form. As you mentioned, Parfait de Manche was a little unlucky, but hard to see it turning the tables.
Okay, well, let's see if Tony gives us that confidence, because Aidan caught up with him and just asked how Harvey Wallbanger's going.
Look, really pleased with him. He's come through his win at Alice in really good shape and galloped brilliantly both Saturday morning and this morning. So, look, the form around him looks really good. It seems to be the strongest form going forward out of his trials and his debut win. So he'll be very hard to beat on Saturday.
Yeah, it really looks like he's hitting stakes level at the right time, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, he's still got a bit to learn, but just a really professional 2-year-old going forward with an amazing action. So, look, and if we take bad luck out of the equation, I think he's going to be very close on Saturday.
Another man that knows how to train a 2-year-old, though, is John O'Benner. Let's have a look at Diarmas, a very good winner on debut, Sweens, and then eye-catching again at the trials here at Foxton. Yeah,
he went into that first-up performance probably a little bit underrated of what he'd done at the trials, and he cleaned that field up with a couple of reputations in there. Look, they can't keep up with any other 2-year-olds in the district at the present moment. He's just been way too good, and he's just doing it all on his ear, really. So he goes there. He's by a drill. She is by a Drossen. She's got a fair bit about her. Great action, Daisy Clipper. She wouldn't want too much rain around, but hey, I think it's a battle of the stables here, Rob, between these two, because they both look as though they'll find their way to a serious race. Yeah,
don't want to be ruling out the 3-horse with a vengeance either, but going back to Diarmas, she's just been so ultra impressive. I hadn't really done a good look at this form. And then we'd gone and done the track work interviews with Tony Pike, and he just convinced me, there's my best bet of the weekend, it's everything. And then I go through Diarmas's form, like, 10 lengths trial winner, 4 and 3 kettle lengths debut win, 6 lengths last trial. She's just been ultra impressive. And when you're doing that, Spellbound was okay prior to going to the races too. So I'm really taken by her.
Yeah, I think it maybe could be a Quinella play here in this race. But let's have a look at Speed Demon, because firstly did give Nick Kneebone his first winner here, of course, son of long-time auctioneer Mike Kneebone for NZB. So that was fantastic too. And third in that race, you said, also coming out of LSC. Yeah, and obviously Sugar Lump had run second to With a Vengeance on debut, so that form looked okay. That's the horse back on the inside fence, but you can see him being brought to the outside and gets home really well. Like you said, he did close off beautifully for that debut fourth. So a horse who's improving all the time. So why not?
Agreed. This was really upset the apple cart, didn't it, on the day? There was a couple of big reputations that got completely dented, but that can happen in 2-year-old racing with horses on debut. That experience clearly proved very crucial for this horse. I heard Nick after the race, he really expected a run from the gelding, and he got exactly that. So I'm not so saying it's a 2-horse race. I think the markets are just going to crash on Diarmas in Harvey Wallbanger, and if you are confident around the 2, the 3, I think if you wait till race day, you're going to get an outstanding price around those two, with the amount of pressure bookmakers are going to be under on those other 2 runners.
Absolutely. Well, let's hear from Nick and see how Speed Demon is going.
Yeah, really good, mate. No, it was a pretty easy decision to want to go there after that win at Pookie. So same track and distance, and no, he's going well. So we're really happy with him. Yeah.
What pleased you most out of that last start effort?
Just the way he hit the line. Really he rattled off a nice 600 there. So when they're going like that, it's pretty easy to want to step them up like that. Yeah.
How's he trained on since?
Yeah, very good. No, very happy with him.
This weekend obviously goes into it a race winner. What can you expect up in Stakes Company?
Yeah, look, it's it's going to be a harder field now, and there's some nice entries in there. So, but he's the type of horse that'll thrive on that sort of competition. So, I'm expecting a good performance.
There you go, he does get out to a good price. There's a little bit of confidence in the camp, and we do have to pick one, Aidan. Is it Diarmas? Is it Harvey Woolbanger? Who are you with?
It was in the end pretty tricky, but I have gone with Diarmas. Pikey's horse is going to come out and run a bottler, and if it wins, I'm just going to be kicking myself. But just been so taken with what I've seen from her in those 2 trials and the race win. So I'm with the CD Raider here, Bevan. I'm picking you might be too.
Oh, you're like a duck on a pond. You look calm on top and your feet are scrambling around underneath you. Tony's going to give you grief. I'll go Diarmas because I'm allowed to. From the Central Districts, the horses have been great. So I'm with Diarmas. I reckon you should be with Harvey Woolbanger. I really do.
Oh, I love it. Either way, I'm going to sit on the fence, take the Quinella. We need something else now because that's all our features. What about something else on the program, Aidan?
I'm going to go to the first race where Golden Wings steps up from what was just such an ultra impressive maiden win last time out. A horse who had run second placings in the first couple. I just wanted to check before doing this whether they had declared a rider, because when I went through last night they hadn't yet. George Rook's on, so wide gates a little bit of a concern, but getting a rider such as George on, so that it just adds the confidence that we needed.
I'm going to take you to the second on the program, the 75 Stayers. I'm going to leave the profit to someone else this weekend. And I'm actually going with another Cody Cole runner, Atmospheric. All 3 runs, fresh up behind Arabian Songburn, was enormous at Ellerslie behind War of Succession. And he just fluffed the start here. And I thought put in a really good effort. Mollify was a good effort as well, and that is still in this race. But this is a consolation on Saturday. Look, if he gets anywhere near away with the body of the field, I think Atmospheric is very tough to beat on Saturday.
There you go, that's a couple for you to follow, and don't forget you've got that odds surge available too, so you can even get a bigger price out of counties. Looking forward to all of the action from there, but for now we're taking to a break, then we'll be checking out the action from Wanganui off the other side.
I can't seem to ease my money. I'm stuck in line with a dream. That's a life I must allow you.
Pleasure to have your company on the form. Before we do concentrate in on our action out of the River City, of course, we've found you some more at the trials, and there's been some really nice winners coming out of the trials. Have you got one for us, Aidan?
Yeah, I have. I took you to Te Awamutu on Tuesday. Some really nice trials through the day. They started off fine, but boy, the rain came, and obviously we get into some pretty wet tracks. The horse in front is a horse called Fly Half, prepared by Cody Cole. Showed really good tactical speed here. You can see the gap, especially back to third, I think was about 8 lengths. This was the quickest of the late heats over this distance, and I thought really impressive. So yeah, one to watch going forward, Fly Half. And I used to have a 10 on my back in the old days swings too, so it sort of fitted a bit.
Yeah. Who was Olsen Filipina? You're the Olsen Filipina of Taranaki. Where did I head? I went to the trials at Foxton. You'd think I'd follow my trials because not with Bell's Bow on Friday at Waverley for some very, very bizarre reason. But look at the big boy out wide, sat back last. This was a reasonably quick trial on the day, enormous frame on him. He trotted up this horse. If it's a maidener inside the first 2 starts of this preparation, I will go, that will be winning where it goes in the next couple of starts. Dark Tornado.
And I'll quickly steal it and make it my best now.
Yeah. Well, we've seen this horse pop up in the past. It obviously goes pretty well. And yeah, talking about Fly Halves in 10, You got Bowden Barrett, who's obviously a Taranaki 10, but I went to
So you wanted to be called Bowden Barrett, didn't you?
A Taranaki Sharks or Rockets or wherever they were going, but Tony Kemp, he wore 6, so he was the man.
There you go, he was the man, he certainly was. But we are concentrating now on Central District still, but the River City, Wanganui, Sweens, weather and track-wise, are we getting nice weather in the CD?
As of right now, as we record the show, there hasn't been an update today on the surface. It was a soft 7. They might have got a little sprinkle of rain, but in fact we have an upgrade. Heavy 10. Where'd you get that from? I have to update my computer just to check that.
Soft 7 there. It was heavy 10 last time, Sweens, I think, is what we're getting there.
Yeah, I've got a soft 7 still. So the forecast is great. Let's get back to the focus. The forecast is great the next couple of days, so they should have an improving track at Sandy Based. Improves pretty quickly. Haven't been there for a while, quite some while, so I just wonder what sort of bias we'll get on the day. You might see it up and in for the first part of the afternoon. But looking forward to being back in the River City, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and yes, we might find that out nice and early. One of the races we want to have a look at is halfway through the program, race number 5 here. It's our open sprint over the 1,340 metres. Bedtime Story, clear favourite at $2.60 from Spencer at $4.50, and then you've got Blissful Bell at the $6.50. We will go back and have a look at your favourite coming out of the Red Craze Bowl. And what did you make of this, Sweens? Because I thought up the top of the straight, she just looked like she was going to be winning this race.
Oh, no, she cost me the punting challenge, that's all I'll say. Look, I thought she runs in the money for sure, and then Kopua comes out of it and blows her off the racecourse. Might have just got a little bit firm for Bedtime Story on the day. I actually think the 1340 probably suits her better, and if there's a little bit of cut in the track, then I think Bedtime Story is the one to be on. But on face value, that was a little disappointing for mine. I think she had every advantage to beat home Maritiri Molly and didn't. So, yeah, look, she can be a little bit untrustworthy, this mare. But I think with a little bit of cut in the track, she's very, very dangerous in that race.
I've been with Blissful Bell the last few, and I'm really liking what I saw. I saw another very good run there. She does meet Bedtime Story 2 kilograms worse, but Blissful Bell is going really nicely, and I thought had to be, especially when you look at them there, I thought safely had Bedtime Story covered. The weight swing might just even them up.
OK, well, let's have a look at another form line here. We've got Spencer up against Durham Lad, and this was that race where Spencer was really well supported, Sweens, and he just didn't lift, but neither did Maritiri Molly, and look what she's gone on to do since. Yeah,
it's still a good quality race. They got back with Maritiri Molly. I think Matt has trained Maritiri Molly for Saturday, so look out there. Bold Bell's a good quality horse. Durham Lad, he just doesn't win out of turn, but when he wins at a big, big price. Spencer, like I said, changed the stable, isn't he? Now with the Mackay's, which is interesting, and I think they're learning about him. He's placed a couple of times at Wanganui. He's got to carry, 58, young apprentice on board. I'm not sure this horse is suited to young apprentices at all. When he gets it right, he's very, very devastating, this horse, but a bit like me in my younger days, if something went wrong, I'd suck my thumb for a period and not really put in. So if he gets it right, he's right in the mix.
In a couple of weeks' time at Trentham, there's that Group 3 Spring Sprint. It's a race that he won when it was at Tarapa, Spencer. So, maybe it's a race that they're targeting. And I think there might well be a few of these in that direction as well. It's a tricky-ish race. In the end, I fell on 5. Blissful Bell is my top pick in the race.
I'm nothing but a trier, and Captain Kane will stick with the ship. So Bedtime Story for me, I think gets him perfectly again. But there'll be only one more chance going on Bedtime Story. Did see the horse work at Waipukureo on Sunday with a horse called Spark that you remember went to black type at its debut down at Rickett, and they seem to work very well together. Spark's going to maybe Taharaneko over 1,000 metres and will be tough to beat. So I'll go Bedtime Story.
OK, all the oil here on the form as we take you to the 2,040 metre handicap here for our open horses. Identikit to $4.40 favourite from Royal Flower, so not much splitting the top 3 here with Rua Rocks at the $5 and then Segundo at $6.50. If we do think it's a front runner's track, we'll suit a horse like him who gets out in front. But we're going to have a look at Identikit, who is completely the opposite this day, Aidan. I think up the home straight you thought there's no way he's winning this race.
Yeah, got back. It was a pretty good run, no question about it. This is a step up again, but gets a soft run from barrier 1 with Bruno aboard. So yeah, pretty handy effort this day, Bevan.
No, well, they did run along this day in front, and it was some effort to get picked up. My Alibi ran Sunday in the Waipukurau Cup, and they went crazy up front, Duncan Creek, My Alibi, and it faded late. But Lisa's always in the opinion of this horse. She mentioned it on the day as a horse that she thought could really improve on the good track conditions, and did. So we'll see on Saturday, step up, soft gate, definitely not out of the mix.
Okay, let's go back to the Waverley Cup, and this is a couple of starts back for Comedy. Royal Flower, obviously 5th out of the race, and behind Just Charlie too. So how did you assess their runs?
Yeah, well, I think you've got to take into account that previous video, the Identikit video, when you're assessing Comedy, because it just wasn't in the same league. Was okay this day in running second. Royal Flower's a good mare as well. I'm not too sure. Bevan, you have a better idea. How does this form stack up into this race?
Oh, very well. I think very, very well, actually. There's a couple of nice runs in that race. None better than Royal Flower, who is a horse that's won at the track. She loves to get her toe in the mare by Prasia. Very good trainer, Gal Temperton. That's really good form for a race like this in my particular mind. I think she'll get a soft run with maybe a bit of cut out of the track. She's won at Wanganui. If they do get any further rain, and I think that'll set her down to the ground. She wouldn't want it to be in the good 4 range, but yeah, I think she's a major, major player. As is Royal Rocks, who's a good last start winner at New Plymouth. Now, this is definitely, for mine, probably a grade down, small race. Indian Gold didn't cop it at all. Indian Gold is listed to go around this weekend as well, maybe even Friday at New Plymouth tomorrow. This is the perfect setup for Royal Rocks. For me, A-Rod, New Plymouth, rail out, lead up, and just keep on kicking. So I don't see it transferring across to Wanganui where the record's poor.
Yeah, absolutely. They got it bang on this day. Got the tactics perfect too, didn't they? Interesting to see Ali Sol go to Sagunto here as well. She was aboard for this win, but now her claim will be all important coming off Sagunto, who went round and wait for Age Company last time out.
Okay, so that's the form leading in. What about the one you're going to put on top for the punters to follow?
Yeah, I'm going with my northern bias. I'm going to go with Sagunto on top. It was following El Vincent. All those horses that we're speaking about being bona fide Counties Cup chances. Sagunto 4th up, did fade in that race, but and now does have a not the easiest job in handicap company. But I thought gets to the front without much pressure. Royal Rocks will be somewhere there, but should be somewhere close to them. Of course, this is a lead up into the Wanganui Cup the following week too, Bevan.
Gee, Harvey Wallbanger will be even more disappointed that you're sticking with your northern bias here, but not in the other race. I'm going with Royal Flower. I think probably primed to be at its very, very best on Saturday, and maybe the next couple of starts are very fruitful for Gale and the nearby Prasia.
Okay, what else should we be following on the card swings? Have you got a fill-up for us?
Early on, Faultless just looks perfectly in. I know there's some unknowns there, but Faultless has been up against some of our very best affirmative action, Swiss Prince, Magic Carpet. Hasn't been beaten far in a couple of those. Gets him with a 2 kilo claim at 55. Small field, early speed, River City, price is crazy.
Swing, you just taken my one. Yours was meant to be Blue Genie here. Now, come on, now sell us Blue Genie and I'll tell you Faultless as we were meant to.
Now, if anyone that knows A-Rod is that he's made a few mistakes as we set the show up, and now he's trying to sort of jump on my coattails. I can make a case for Blue Genie. It was over 1,400 metres fresh tailherd in Nikau. As a star, returning was massive. Sets up to the mile on Saturday, is in the right race, but I think a bit short, but I think it is a good play.
Right, mine was Faultless, who's only been beaten ahead by Affirmative Action, who's come out and then gone so close to winning a Group 1. So, but I know Sweens is pretty keen on Faultless as well. So.
Yeah, blame me.
We'll share it all around, that's fine.
Yeah, we certainly will. Right, from there we're going to keep up the theme as trying to find winners, take you to our bank builders where we try and get you a nice kitty early to play into the later races, including that $75,000 guaranteed late quaddie. So what have you got for us?
I'm going to go early to New Plymouth on Friday and really like the chance of Gossip. Currently the second favourite there, and have I changed my one now?
Speaking of mistakes,
Talking about, yeah, I did too. I did change it. Right, 4 of us in the first at Invercargill. But luckily we're live, isn't it, Bevan? Placed in 3 of the last 4. Looked ready to go in that first race out of Invercargill on Sunday.
Bring back Leaf. Bring back Leaf. Where am I going? This is getting even more... I'm boring. I'm going faultless. Look at that. Absolutely right on the mark. Race 2. Get on. Price is too good.
It really loves faultless, guys. You've heard it here first. Get on.
And second and third.
Absolutely. Poor horse has got a lot of weight on its back. We're taking you to a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll sort ourselves out. We'll find you some best bets.
Oh dear.
Airpark Hustle was super unlucky the first day. We took the pacifiers up and we seen how sharp he can be off the mark with them off, and he drops back to 1400, but I think if he gets a bit of luck he's going to be really hard to beat.
Airpark Hustler in front from Flat Stanley, Saxon Legend, then Nuncio. Airpark Hustler inside the 100 metres. Today is his day. Airpark Hustler cruised away and beats Flat Stanley, Saxon Legend, Nuncio.
We've only got the 2 runners, Graham John and Tohaka. So Tohaka, he after winning Saturday, he went up 76 points, so basically makes him open class. So he's going to run in the open 14 with 54 kilos, and he likes soft ground as well. And with Joe Doyle riding again, so he'd be my pick.
Well, this it Dreams and Tohaka set down to fight it out. A good battle here, and Tohaka has struck the front inside the 100 metres for Walshy. A Cup Week double, Tohaka.
2 of our southern trainers delivering the goods last week. A little bit down south, I think, there, but hopefully punters followed them in.
One thing, and you've got to give credit to the trainers. We were doing those on Wednesday morning, as we do most weeks, and the conditions just completely changed. That they were meant to get 4 mil of rain, and next thing we got the hail and a really heavy track. So
no more
well
getting
done
on
to
my
this.
best bet, A-Rod. It makes it run second. So no more. We've got Sierra Leone beat. I want you on someone else.
Too much weight. Too much pressure, I think, on her. I think the whole of Waipakaro was on her that day too there. Cosmic Dream third for me. I still think a nice filly to follow, and well, Leith got a scratching, so he just gets his kitty back. As we take a look at our leaderboard, still in the plus, just Aidan.
Yeah, more than plus. You're flying. Pip, we just need to take a leaf out of your book. Swing's going pretty well too.
Yeah, certainly is.
That's my score at school.
Okay, well, let's see if we can get some more winners for you from our trainers. Let's see what they're liking.
Friday Spanish Lad, Taranaki.
Okay, Pukana could go cheeky.
Yeah, got to be with the speed demon, mate.
I think we'll just stick with Harvey Warbanger, Aidan. I think he'll win again.
Well, Prometheus.
I think as long as we get a reasonable surface, Mad Max is ready to run another big race.
Only got big wave, so hope he can go a little bit better again this week.
Well, just the one runner, Master Faye, the old boy, he tends to look after us pretty well, so looking forward to it.
I'll go Arabian Songbird.
We haven't had a great deal of luck when we do this, but I'll go Queen Zoo in the last at 75 mile.
Okay, so with the big team the Marsh team have, they're choosing Queen Zoo, or Dylan is, and Rob obviously giving a good push for Arabian Songbird.
Yeah, that's a really interesting one too. So, hopefully we get a winner or 3 out of this. Yeah, obviously you saw the confidence there from Tony Pike.
You did.
He'll win again. He'll win again.
Oh, well, have you got him? It's nerve-wracking now, isn't it, Aidan? You want to change,
Just as well
don't you?
Sweens is down there. Can we just turn him down a little bit?
We'll try. We can try, Sweens. We actually
I've
need
never
you.
seen Pikey say that before in his life, and you've gone against him. That's intriguing.
And you know how I stay with him most weeks too, whatever Pikey picks. Yeah.
Not today. We'll see how that plays out on Saturday. Speaking of things playing out, of course, we had the challenge up between ourselves and the leg up team. A narrow victory to you, Aidan.
A hollow one. It was a bit unfortunate. Both of us really just undone by a wet track, but now we look for Bevan Sweeney to just trample on Thad Taylor, which I'm really looking forward to seeing him do.
Jeez, I watched a bit of the show the other day. They're very, very, they've lifted their spirits a lot, haven't they? They're very, very bullish about themselves.
Yeah. Well.
Very interesting. Well, the time will tell, I suppose. We're in front. Aidan pulled out every law in the Turby rule book to get the victory here. It is 4-3. What am I going to do? Oh, I'm all over the place, to be fair. I thought it was difficult. But there's a horse called Hot Mama tomorrow for Robbie Patterson. He's got a few in the race. Quite like that. 25 each way. Faultless. I think the 390 is ridiculous. I'll have 25 on that. Blue Jenny is one I do like. Second up, just being a star second up. I'm slightly niggly about that, but it's a right race. That's at 3 and I would have 25 each way there. And if Atmospheric jumps anywhere near them, I think the $6 is madness there. We have 25 to win there.
Yeah, get up, Sweens. Let's hope we can get another win and just keep on tracking. From there, though, it is time for our best bets, brought to you by My Racehorse. So, yes, it's showtime, and fantastic to have them involved, isn't it, Aidan?
Yeah, it really is. Obviously, we've had a fair bit to do with them over the years, and a horse like Willie Do It winning a derby. And, you got a small share, but they say that the thrills are just the same. Okay, so for me, I'm going Gossip as my best. So this is one I tried to palm off earlier on, but goes into a Fillies and Mares maiden at New Plymouth Race 3, where it is the key form horse. It's only second favourite because there's a Roger James, Robert Wellwood trialist who's looked pretty impressive, to be fair, but I just think Gossip, it is her time.
Gee, the way the show's been going, I thought Harvey Warbanger was coming up there as your best bet. I'm going to go with Atmospheric. I think it's well in up at Counties in race number 2. If it jumps away with them, I think the race is over, but the manners have been pretty average of late.
And I'm swinging for a 6, so I'm going for race number 5 at Pukekohe, a Kiwi Skyhawk for the Marsh Stable. Third up to his really good distance. He was doing his best work late. We saw how good he was in those feature races, particularly at Trentham when he ran away from them. I think Kiwi Skyhawk can get me another win and hopefully keep me in the plus, so that's what I'm liking. What about our team jumping in? Well, the Whale, he's with Scrunch at Addington in race number 12 on Friday. Gossip for Aidan. Leeds jumping in with Sister Sugar. I think she's around $7.50 in the first, so taking you on there, Aidan. Atmospheric for Bevan, and I'm with Kiwi Skyhawk, and that completes the form. What are you most looking forward to on the weekend?
Probably Leith getting back and we can have some sort of order or something. Who would have thought that Leith not being here would mean that we'd have a disordered show? But anyhow.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Pukekohe Park and obviously
your head's away still in Melbourne or the New Zealand Cup, Yeah, we do these little gigs, it gets a bit confusing, I know.
Looking forward to Wanganui anyhow, Bevan, and we'll watch your coverage out of there.
Rightio. Have a good day, Rod. Pleasure to be with you all.
I think we're going to leave you and say goodbye, and we'll catch you back next week, hopefully a little bit more settled with Leith back.